So, how do you silence the mind? Hey everyone, this is Jane here from Authentic Energy, your transformation coach. So over the weekend in LA, I learned from my master Eric Lo about meditation and also about calming the mind. So he gave us some techniques and some of the morning practices that he has actually done in the past. After I came back here to Vancouver, I've been practicing it every morning. So for the past 2 mornings, I have been practicing the following four things in the morning to silence the mind. So when I say silencing the mind, I mean, taking out the noises, taking out the words and the thoughts when there's absolutely nothing left in your mind. That's right, I mean absolutely nothing. And he said, meditation, without all the fancy, sexy words, like, these days we have things like Kundalini meditation, affirmation meditation, what else? Visualization meditation, all these fancy forms. In essence, meditation is actually about nothingness. When there's nothing on your mind, nothing, in the thoughts. And it sounds easy, right? But it sounds very simple, but it's actually not easy to practice. So the four things I've been practicing for the past 2 days are, firstly, just practicing breath work. Like using your abdomen to breathe instead of having the breathing coming from the chest or from the nose. Normally when we breathe, right, we go like this. But then with the correct breathing, you're supposed to have the air coming from the abdomen here. So breathing in, a long deep breath, and breathing out. So spend about 5 to 10 minutes every day to do that first. So when you're actually controlling and regulating your breathing, you're grounding yourself. So for me, I've been just spending 5 minutes to ground my breathing and doing the abdominal breathing. So when you're breathing in, your tummy is supposed to go out, right? And when you're breathing out, your tummy goes in. Okay, so this might seem a little bit unnatural, but it's actually the natural way to breathe. So if we take a look at how babies breathe, right, that's how they breathe. But then, because of, social conditioning and also our lifestyle, we've been, subconsciously breathing through the nose. So, oh my God, look at that beautiful view here in Vancouver. So that's what I do. First thing is just practicing the breath work. Very fundamental, basic breath work. And then after that, we do the alternate breathing. So the alternate, what do you call a nostril breathing. So you're breathing from one side. So I'm gonna show you guys what the fingers look like. Okay, I'm still practicing. So your fingers look like this, folding these two, have your thumb and the other two ready. So you block one side. Take a deep breath in, just 4 counts, and you hold for 12 counts. And then you let out. Oh, sorry, I should be using these two to block this side, and you let the air out through the other side. So out this side for 8 counts. Okay, and then you continue. Let the air go in from this side, 4 counts, hold. Okay, and then let out 8 counts from the other side. So you just alternate. You're only using one side of the nose, one nostril, to do the breathing, and you alternate. So this is something that I actually had learned in yoga many years ago, but I never really practiced it. And now that I'm actually getting back into it, I can really feel the difference. And why we're doing the alternate breathing is because, we have left and right? So the left nostril, when we're breathing with the left nostril, that means we're actually really calm. When we're calm and when we're in the yin state, yin yang, we're in the yin state, we're using our left nostril to breathe. And when we're actually in action mode, in the yang mode, we're using the right, because left and right are directly related to the sun and the moon. So think of the left as, the moon, and the right is related to the sun, the yang energy. So maybe when you guys need to get into action for sports or some kind of athletic performance, you're mainly breathing from the right. So when we can master, the alternate breathing, when we can switch anytime we want, it actually does wonders to our mind and to our body. So that's the second one. Okay, and the third practice, oh my God, this one I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to figure out why we're doing this. Well, of course it's also for training to silence our mind, is actually sitting there in the lotus pose and stare at one object. So be it like, the tip of the leaf, you can just, fix your gazing on that without blinking. That's right here, right? So you keep your eyes open and just keep staring at, that the leaf point without blinking. This one is the toughest one for me. I've been doing it for the past 2 mornings, and I really couldn't last for more than 3 seconds. And every time when you feel like you need to blink, you just have to slowly close your eyes, let the tears run through. I get teary massively, and then slowly open your eyes again and keep going. So this one is super difficult for me, but I know that this is good for me. So I am determined to keep going until I master it. And of course, when you can master it, when you can actually manage to get yourself into the state of, not blinking and just keep staring, in one spot, you are supposed to actually experience something very blissful and something very, very surreal, almost like an out-of-body experience, according to Eric. So I know I will get there one day. It takes a lot of, practice and, just a lot of patience too. So that's the third one. And then the fourth one is actually just meditation. Basically you sit there and think nothing. So this one is actually, a lot of you guys are probably quite familiar with, different types of meditation, and you probably have tried to do that kind of meditation, trying to get the thoughts out by maybe, visualizing an object, or, imagining, you're in a space. So for me, what I have found that works well for me is actually just imagine myself in the ocean. Somehow, the imagery of the ocean helps me clear the mind and silence the mind with no thoughts. So I guess, so far the longest I can go without actually having any words or any thoughts coming into my head would be maybe 4 seconds. Yeah, 4 seconds. And you can choose to believe me or not, but this is what I experienced on day 1. I think I actually managed to hold that, thoughtless mind while I was meditating for more than maybe 4 or 5 seconds or something like that, because I had no thoughts, right? So I really didn't know what was the concept of time. Suddenly, for a split second, seriously, it was not even that long, for a split second, I felt this sudden motion shift coming in. It was as if I was in a space shuttle and I was about to go time traveling. It's really hard to describe, seriously. A lot of you guys watching this right now, you must be thinking that, oh, I'm going crazy, I'm just making stuff up. But really, I felt that at that second, at that moment. It was a split second. And obviously my consciousness and everything kind of came back, and I got shocked, right? And I start to have thoughts coming in. So the moment when I start to have thoughts and reaction coming in, that's when it disappeared. I was like, whoa, what just happened? It's as if I woke up from that state, of bliss. And then I just couldn't stop thinking, what just happened? I started having thoughts and words coming into my head. So it just disappeared. Yeah, so I want to hear from you guys. If any of you guys have ever experienced something like that, I want to hear from you. What was that? And are you supposed to, experience that? And I didn't get it today and didn't get it yesterday. It's only that time. So, like Eric said, don't expect anything to happen. You have to flow with it. If you keep expecting that something's gonna happen, then it will never happen. Okay, so these are the 4 things I've been practicing every morning to silence the mind, and I feel great and I feel more grounded as well. So let me know, if you guys are practicing anything very similar. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, put the comments below and let me know where you guys watching from, because hey, I might be in your area. We can hang out together and maybe we can collaborate as well. There are always opportunities around, right? So yeah, and remember to share the video if you found it useful. And lastly, if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because this year I am committed to making daily videos to inspire you to create that body and mind